Hi everybody, welcome back to my awesome how-to channel. Today we will be making yogurt. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Today I will be showing you step by step on how I make my yogurt at home. I have an ultimate probiotic yogurt maker that we will be making it in today. First, I started off with bringing my milk to about 180 degrees. And I've already been bringing it down to room temperature. It has roughly been taking about an hour to do so. Right now it is at about 100 degrees, which is perfect. I brought together my ingredients. I used this measuring cup. I put in 1,480 milliliters of milk to warm up. So I used this, and then for the 80 milliliters I used a 1/3 cup. Okay, so my last video I mentioned that I used the Reuteri, and this time I will use the Gasseri probiotic. So I will take 1 capsule of this. Okay. You see it's opened. Okay. So in a separate bowl, you want to put your probiotic. So open up the capsule. Okay. All right. And then I have my Inulin powder that I talked about with my last video, and I will be using a tablespoon of that. This does come with a little scooper thing, which I actually utilize to level off my tablespoon. This actually came with this little measuring cup, and they are amazing. No more searching in my drawer for measuring spoons and measuring cups. So I use this to actually level off my tablespoon. So it does come in handy. And then you want to put this in a bowl as well. Okay. And now that this milk is down to a good temperature here for mixing, you want to add at least a cup of milk to this, just to give it enough to mix in. You can measure out a cup, or you can just pour it in like I do, because you are going to be adding it back into the milk that you just took it from. So you want to mix this really good. Get it nice and blended. You don't want any lumps. Okay, so it feels like it's pretty good and mixed here. So I'm going to take this bowl and I'm going to slowly pour it back into this milk. I'm going to give this a little good stir here. I'm going to mix that in a little bit. Okay, now that we have added our probiotic and inulin, I've had somebody come up to me and tell me that they are struggling to get their yogurt to thicken, and it isn't solidifying as much as they want it to when they put it in their machine. They have the same machine. They have the ultimate probiotic maker, but for some reason their yogurt isn't getting thicker. And what you can do is actually, before you warm up your milk, you can use 1 to 2 tablespoons of dry milk. When you use 1 to 2 tablespoons of dry milk, It will help your milk thicken, whatever milk you may use. I use whole milk. You can use half and half or almond milk. I mean, whatever milk that your body can handle or whatever milk you use. But you can use 1 to 2 tablespoons of this, and it might help thicken, because you don't want to use too much inulin, because it will actually, the excessive amount will actually may cause a little bit of stomach upset, and might cause more issues for your digestive tract in the long run instead. So I do have, there, I'll put this in here. I have my yogurt maker. I'll take all my covers off my glass jars. Now with this amount of yogurt, or this amount of milk that I warmed up, it will come to, you know, pretty close to about 150, like how my last ones were that you saw in my video. So I'll go ahead and fill these up. And I warmed up my milk ahead of time just so that you wouldn't have to sit here for half an hour watching me warm up my milk. So I didn't do anything special to it. I just kept it on about medium temperature, medium high temperature, and then that way I checked it consistently, giving it a stir occasionally just so that it doesn't scorch. But you want to roughly fill it up about the same. And I'm not using a funnel, so I'm just trying to be careful not to spill. I love that it comes out to a good decent amount in each of them, because it gives enough headspace to add whatever you would like to your yogurt. Like I said, I mostly just add in a teaspoon of sugar and a teaspoon of vanilla after it has set in the fridge. Just trying to level them all off here. You want to get them all pretty level, because when you put this in with the basin, you want to fill the water line up to the top of where the milk is. So you want them to all be pretty level, which it does look like they're all pretty close to the right level. And then I'll go ahead and put my covers on. I'm going to place them back into the machine. When you warm up your milk, it gives it a head start. It helps the proteins coagulate with your probiotic and your inulin. Some people skip this step and then they end up having a more liquid yogurt. It's not as solid, and if you prefer that texture and you enjoy your yogurt that way, that's completely up to you. But when I do it this way, it really turns out like a store-bought yogurt, and it turns out good. Now I'm going to actually take a cup and fill this with water, and I'm actually going to use this water I heated in this pot. And you're going to fill this basin You could see that water level in there. Watch the water level. I'm going to fill this all the way to the top of the yogurt. And you want to make sure this water is actually covering the yogurt. So that way there's nothing that's left not covered. Okay, and then you can go ahead and plug in your machine. Right here on the front, you're able to set the time and temperature. And for my temperature, I have been leaving it at 99, and it's been doing really good with that. So you press start. And then with this being a probiotic yogurt, you want to leave it at 36 hours. And then you press start. And there you have your fresh homemade yogurt. And if you enjoyed this video, again, like and subscribe. Thank you.